All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're back up here. We're at Vaden. This is Vaden Ram dealer here, Jeep Ram in Savannah, Georgia. We're up here all the time. Almost just heard a car accident over there. But Saturday up here, beautiful day. We're going to be talking about some of the stuff that we're learning about the 2026 Gladiator and the Wrangler. Some information has come out courtesy of Dirt Road Cred and TFL. Remember, our job is to make sure you have information. And we get that information a lot of places. And Dirt Road Cred obviously gets some of the best information right off the bat. TFL also gets some of the best information off the bat too. So I'm crediting both of them because that's where I got this information from. Definitely worth going over and checking out their videos and also subscribing to their channels. But through there, what we have learned is right off the bat that according to TFL, they were saying that there is no more, that the 4xe version of the Gladiator axed. Just like the Ram Charger, the Ram EV truck. They have both been completely axed. They're just done. They're not going to do them. No longer in a lineup. We will not be seeing a 4xe Gladiator. Some of you guys that might upset, some of you guys probably don't care. I wouldn't buy one myself either, so I'm not really worried about it, but I know a lot of people really did like that extra, having that 4xe capability and being able to save some of that gas mileage. Will not be an option in the Gladiator. They have canceled that out. And also we know, which I've said before, that they have canceled the EV Ram truck. They're making some changes over there and focusing on things, which leads us to the next one, which was from Dirt Road Cred and the information that they have gathered in here too. And it's really worth watching his video. I'm not going to tell you everything that's in that video. You want to take the point to go over there and look at their video. And I highly recommend you do. And if I remember to, I will link it down below for you for these two videos in the description so you can use them to go there. But what they're talking about is that Stellantis is kind of in a weird spot. They're in a tricky place right now because of decisions that Tavares made, legal, binding, contractual decisions for Stellantis that Tavares made that is causing some impacts and some issues possibly for, you believe they drive these things through here? Look at this. That's got to be a lot of fun. There's no doubt about it. It has to be a lot of fun. It's not fun in Crocs, but it has to be a lot of fun for them to run these Jeeps through here. But Stellantis, Tavares, he actually made some financial decisions and binding legit contractual obligations that may be the reason that we're not getting 5.7s in these trucks right now. May be the reason why we're not seeing, engine improvements such as the 392 coming to the Gladiator. Why we may not even see the 392 stick around too long for the Wrangler. Why we may not actually end up with, where you can only buy specific vehicles in certain states again. We know that happened with the 4xe. Many of these states that offered, they could only stock 4xes. We've made videos about this before too. If you were in a state that was one of these CARB compliant states, you were only allowed to actually stock on your lot 4xe versions of the Wrangler, because of the fact that they made a 4xe version. Now, you could custom order a Wrangler with the 3.6 or a 2 liter or whatever you wanted to in there, but you could only stock the actual 4xe on your actual lots that the dealers could get themselves. We know that had happened. Well, there's also things that are happening with that now. Fed states, as they're calling them, where you can get away with things and you can buy it. Again, go watch the videos, the video that Dirt Road Cred put out and the video that TFL put out. It's very interesting stuff. Moral of the story for us, the things that we're hoping to have happen with Jeep, even with Ram being able to, bring the Hemi back and all the stuff that's going on, there's some concern in there that a lot of this reason that we're still struggling to get some of these things accomplished very well could be because of the fact that Stellantis, Tavares, signed agreements that are binding and they're holding even with him not being there anymore. And that could be a major issue for us. So something interesting to think about, but we may not see 5.7s in these things like we were hoping. Probably not going to see a Hurricane in one until the next generation, but we were all hoping that a 5.7 would hit one of these because we thought it would be real easy to just stuff one in there. America's Most Wanted already did it, and it worked out perfect. We already had Jeep talking about, you know, the 392 being an option in it, and in a Gladiator, all these things. But like I said, they might all be being put on hold until the next generation comes out. We do know that the J80, which is the next version of the Wrangler, okay, we have the JL right here. The JL, which is coming up on 10 years old. In 2028, it will be replaced with what they are calling the J80, according to the documents that we have. The next Jeep platform will be 2028 as a J80. We do not know what will happen for the Gladiator. We do not know. There was nothing in those documents 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago, or whatever it was, that told us what was coming for the next Gladiator. We just don't know. We have no idea. Hopefully it continues. Hopefully it still keeps going. But maybe the questions about where Jeep was asking all of us, hey, you know, would you like a 392 in it? Would you like it with the old school grill? Would you like it this way? And the things they put out at Jeep, you know, Easter Safari. And they did all this stuff to give us these teasers and ideas and give us these hints, these questionnaires that they all asked us. We were hoping they were going to be stuff that they would do for this, for the end of this generation here before the next one comes out. Maybe because of these things that Tavares signed in those papers, maybe what's really happening is that stuff that they're going to be able to legally get away with next time, where it's too hard to do this time, you know, for this current generation. Next generation, they get back to free reign. Maybe that is the case. Again, things that we don't know, we don't understand. There's a lot of stuff that's, you know, above our heads on there, you know, with the political and, you know, that kind of side of it that we don't get or understand. So we're not sure. We don't know. It's just one of those kind of things. That could also very well be the reason that Jeep will not give us a 35 Extreme package on the Gladiator like we were hoping for. We get it on the Wrangler. Here's one right here. This one's got it on here, the 35 Extreme package. But the Wrangler also has the 4xe version to offset some of those sales and to regulate that kind of stuff. In the truck world, they do not. And maybe they had it, you know, if they put the 35 Extreme package on this Mojave that's sitting right here, maybe that is going to take the, you know, with enough of those being sold, especially with how many are sold as 35 packages on a Jeep. So many are sold that way, but maybe those numbers, are afraid, would set them off and would cost them too much money and cause too much problems, again, due to that letter and that structure from Tavares that he has out there. Tavares, even gone, you know, he screwed us completely when he was here, and now he's screwing us even more when he's gone. It's just as much when he's gone. It's a nightmare dealing with this guy and the trouble he caused. And it goes to show how a good CEO can make or break a company. And Tavares was the worst I've ever seen in my entire history of following his stuff. Worst ever. But it might be his reasoning and his stupid signatures and decisions and stuff that he's agreed to that are binding, that are why we don't get a 5.7 in here. We don't get the 392 in the numbers that we want it to be, and why it costs so much. We don't get the 35 Extreme package on our Gladiators. We don't get a 5.7 or a 392 in there. All of this might just stem from that, you know, and it's very interesting when you think about it, and it's very sad. Hopefully those hands get untied when the next generation comes out, is what we're hoping for. But after watching those two videos, TFL and Dirt Road Cred, like I said, love Dirt Road Cred. God, I love their channel. But after watching those, you kind of just go, now some of this stuff kind of makes sense. Maybe this is why their hands are tied. This is why we can't get what we're looking for. This is the reasoning behind it. And maybe this is what's, you know, what's hurting us. Maybe this is where our problems with what we're hoping and dreaming of and wondering, scratching our heads why they don't give it to us. Maybe this all makes sense now. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching.